What is up, friends? It is Celebration Day. We finally have a brand new Spiral Abyss in Genshin Impact. If you're wondering how to clear floor 12 of the Spiral Abyss 3.8 patch, I have you covered. This is an AoE floor for definite, so what I used for both teams is Bloom and Hyperbloom to absolutely decimate everything in front of me. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Chamber 1, first half, what I'm going to do is we're going to try and get Nilah to link them all up with her skill. They're all going to surround her and ravage her, so quickly switch to Nilah. We're going to proc her Bloom. Going to switch between Tighnari and Kokomi and Nilah just to keep the blooms, the bountiful blooms, proccing. Tighnari I think is very underrated in Spiral Abyss, especially when you're dealing with the wolves, because his taunt ability can kind of deflect an awful lot of damage from you. That's the first wave, and the second wave done. And then basically for the two big Mommy and Daddy wolves and the Pyro Lector, we're going to just fight on the Lector. The wolves should gather. And again, it's a simple rinse and repeat. Just making sure that we swap to Kokomi, keeping everyone's health relatively high, because again, when the blooms explode, it can kind of detonate your team a little bit. Again, so Tighnari coming in clutch, firing arrows. Not the most exciting of team comps, but again, it does work. We're just constantly making sure that we proc enough bloom bombs, and that's Chamber 1 done. Team 2 is a little bit more concerning because we don't really have major damage, but we're just going to hopefully use elemental reactions, mainly Superconduct, but hopefully Hyperbloom if we kind of time the abilities. Yeah, we're getting a lot of Hyperbloom damage. So that's the first wave done. We have our little Vishaps here. Again, rinse and repeat. Dr. Baizhu I think is very underrated as well, just for proccing Dendro application, and his healing is absolutely insane, so it kind of lets you play squishier characters. Now this can be a little bit annoying on the way that they group. Again, I use my ults to iframe his charge ability so I don't get stunned. Try and fight kind of in the middle here so you can pull the hilly churls together. Try and detonate them with a few Dendro cores. We're going to just spam our abilities. Again, yeah, so those two are kind of nuked. Now we have 10 seconds. Will we be able to get this guy down? Come on, Yalan, you can do it. Very good. So the cores will gradually get rid of his shield. And again, just decimate anything around them. We're going to go with the crit and crit damage. Nilah sets up her ability. Everyone's linked. I'm not really sure how to group these guys. Hopefully they're going to come close. We'll ult for the extra elemental mastery. One thing I do have to work on with my bloom comps is kind of who autos during this kind of like awkward phase where everyone's cooldowns are down. Okay, he's next level strats. He's totally dodged me there. But again, with the two Pyro, Fatui, Hyperbloom and Bloom comps are really, I think, what they're looking for this patch, because you're just going to melt their shields, melt him. He's hanging on for dear life. Come on, sir, just die. There we go. Now we have the 4 chasm spawns. Again, rinse and repeat. The main thing with this is just making sure that no one gets KO'd. I really don't like Kokomi's ult for healing because it requires a lot of brain power and setup, which I can't really remember how to do, so We'll hopefully just get Tainari to a safe place and then we'll switch off her. And Dendro cores pop. Team 2 is basically the same. If there's one boss I hate in Genshin Impact, it is this guy. Just because if you don't have Electro, you forgot Electro, you can't apply Electro. He's very difficult to and frustrating to kill. But again, Fischl is basically our fake 5-star. She's just popping up a load of damage. Kazuha trying to swirl Electro so that we can get rid of these things and reveal the guy quicker. There we go. Swirled Electro. Getting a bit of Hyperbloom damage. But again, it's the main thing I think is just Yelan. Yelan's ult does about 27k per auto. So we're just trying to keep her ult above anything up. Things are about to get dicey, so we're gonna hopefully get rid of these things quickly. 30 seconds on the clock. Should be fine. Again, it's just popping Electro on. This is really Electro's Spiral Abyss, I think. Don't know who Fischl's aiming at, but we should be okay with this. And again, if you look at everyone's health, like Dr. Baizhu is just criminal. He's so OP. I really enjoy him. He's kind of like a Kokomi. I think everyone's given him a bad run of late, but I think he's really useful in these kind of Spiral Abysses. Chamber 3, again, it's a Bloom comp, so we're just going to try and gather them. I usually try and fight this guy because she's going to come over. She's going to be lured over. It's like a honey trap. So we're going to try and get rid of her because she has that awful Hydro debuff that will wreck your cooldowns. Both of them popped. And then we take out this lassie here because then that gets rid of 2 mobs on the map. She's already stunned because the blooms just popped her summon. Hanging on for dear life. There we go. Now, we're just going to pop all our ults. Try and pop as much Dendro as possible. One thing I do regret maybe is not bringing cryo units because freezing her is a really useful, handy thing to do. But again, just spawning Dendro Hydro on her with Nilu's ability up. You don't really even need Nilu, like you could just go Hyperbloom if you didn't roll on her. And again, we're just gonna let the cores pop. 45k crit, girl. Chamber 3, second half. Okay, the Vishamps. Same business as before. We're just gonna try and pop as much. I see Kazuha swirled Hydro, so Yelan's doing 30k on her ults. I like concentrating on one in particular. Don't kill him, because then he will revive. But don't be afraid to just focus on one, then swap over. Do a big chunk, then swap over. Don't try and damage them both at the same time. Again, if you have an Animo unit like Kazuha, Sucrose, even Jean, I suppose, would be good to just keep elements applied. Now this is the dangerous time because we're killing one. We have to really quickly kill this guy or else they'll res. Yeah, Dendro. And there you have it. Floor 12, Genshin Impact Spiral Abyss 3.8. Done. Quickly, easily, quite a brain dead kind of composition. But let's take a quick look at the gear, just so you have a good idea of my my artifact. So Yelan, she has crit damage. She has got her Aqua Similara. She's on 2-piece emblem and tenacity for the health. Baizhu, we have terrible stats. Prototype Amber. But again, Deepwood Memories, we're just there. He's just pure healing. Kazuha, he has good elemental mastery. He has a dull blade, which is a complete and utter mistake. Please check your weapons before you do Spiral Abyss. But yeah, dull blade for the win, and the Viridescent set. Next we have Nihida. She has nearly 1,000 mastery, 1,000 floating dreams, and Deepwood Memory. Tainari, he has got Viridescent Hunt. I do have a better bow for him, I think. Again, check your... Yeah, I had a spare Thundering Pulse we could have put on him. Check your weapons and artifacts. Nilu, again, you don't really have to build Nilu in any way, shape or form. She's a flute. She could have had it. She could have had a dull blade as well. We're just spamming health on her, so she's got 2-piece health sets. Kokomi, minus 85% crit rate, standard build. Eye of Perception, which is terrible. Don't know why I have that. Dear Lord. Ocean Clam set. And then we have Fischl. So again, probably could do with a bit more crit rate. She has the Thundering Pulse and Thundering Fury set that we used. Look at all these characters that probably have all the good stuff on them. So yes, if you thought this video was useful or useless, leave me a subscribe and a comment below. See you in the next one.